Welcome to another episode of Till All Have Heard with Pastor Bruce Johnson Jr. We are so excited to be back and share exciting news about our YouTube channel, Substack page, and website updates that will be coming soon. So be on the lookout for what's on the horizon. Now, let's get into today's message entitled, I'm Getting Back to Me.
We are amongst one of the smartest generations to ever live. We have excelled our predecessors in things of athletics and technology and all these areas, education, everything. We are a part of the generation that discovered some of the technology we use today, AI, GPS, and Tesla cars. Woo. But there's one thing out of all of our discovering that we seem to have an issue to discover, and that is our true identity. We have a good ability to discover everyone else's problems. We are entrepreneurial. We discover the issues going on in society and develop need-based businesses. We see things going on social media, and we call people, and we can diagnose things just from one post, right? Everybody's a therapist all of a sudden, right? But there's one thing we struggle to identify, and that's who we really are. And I get it because we're in an age where everyone's identity is wrapped up in everyone else's perspective of us. How everyone else sees us becomes our persona. You catch me? Well, what everyone else says amalgamates, and that becomes who we are. Because we do get scared to operate and live in our personality. Because your personality is who you really are. It's your genetic makeup. It's where you grew up. It's how your parents raised you. It's what you were taught. That's your personality. But you will often lose people in life when you live according to your personality, but you'll always attract people as long as you live according to a persona. Because my persona is the reason why my feed is booming. My timeline is booming because of persona, what I show people based off what they want to see. But if I ever really operate and live in my personality, I'll lose followers, I'll lose friends. People start deleting me out of their contacts. Why? Because I'm really being who I am. Therefore, we have the ability, and almost the bad ability, to live in what we call shadows. Shadows are the parts of yourself that you keep hidden. And unfortunately, if you keep living and hiding things in the shadow, it only takes one person to really trigger you to allow everything that's in the shadows to now come to the light. And now what was said over you as a child, what was done to you as a child is in the shadow. The insecurities are in the shadow. Your evil thoughts are in the shadow. Your trauma lies in the shadows. And all it takes is one person who actually loves you to try to confront those areas in your life to fix it. And everything comes out this shadow to the light, and now you snap on the wrong person. When you got about 20 years worth of people who hurt you, and you release 20 years worth of trauma and pain on one individual. I really want us to get delivered, though, listen, from the shadows. Why? Because you can't live successfully keeping things about yourself in the shadows. Now, should you live in discretion, that means there are parts of me everybody ain't got to see, ain't got to know because not their business, yes. But there are areas in my life that I'm struggling in. And because I put them in the shadows, nobody knows I'm struggling because I'm still singing. Nobody knows I'm struggling because I'm still preaching. Nobody knows I'm struggling because I post all the good stuff on social media, not realizing all that makeup is actually covering some bruises on the skin. But it has to stay in the shadow because if I really show who I am, nobody wants to be around me. Therefore, we end up operating almost in this doppelganger situation, where there's a me that you see, but there's also another me walking around somewhere that nobody knows. We're not calling it being bipolar. There's literally a separate part, person, and way that I operate when I'm in church and when I'm not in church. And I can flow easy between the two. Why? Because as long as I'm in this room, I'm going to operate one way. As soon as I walk out of the room, all of a sudden it's like, wait, is that the same girl that was dancing? And you don't realize it. Why? Because everything in the shadow has the ability to keep you silent. And where you would scream out for help, the shadows have got your vocal cords tied up. We talked about it the other week because whatever happened to you as a child made you feel like you didn't have a voice. Whoever hurt you made you feel like you could not stand up for yourself, therefore you felt weak and useless. And now you're in a marriage where you can't communicate well because all your life no one ever listened to you. You got things going on in school and on your job that you want to speak up and defend yourself about, but because you feel like you have no voice, you just let things happen to you. And because of this, we go to the question of now we are here. And the question is, who am I? Identity is one of the strongest things you must have in order to make it in this day and time. I'm so glad you all hit on it yesterday. It's one of the main things. That how do I find my identity? How do I become comfortable in my identity? And the funny thing is this. Every now and then when you've operated so long in a certain identity and then you lost the identity, you do need someone to guide you to find your identity again. Paul operated so long as someone who persecuted the church. Then when it came time for him to operate in his God-given assignment, God blinded him. But God didn't remove the scale from his eyes. He had to go over to another man's house, Ananias' house, to then be healed. That means I don't care how grand you think you are. You do need somebody to guide you in life in finding your identity. Thank you for the 3 claps. Because what happens is we think we can go on Pinterest and find a whole bunch of different styles and figure out how we're going to look based upon Pinterest and social media. No. You need a pastor, a spiritual covering, or a leader to tell you that is not you. That's not how you operate. And you don't get offended, but you actually say thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Because if we can be honest, if how you're living now is not yielding any good fruit, shouldn't you want to change? Woo! This is the one generation that I don't get, where things can be going wrong and you still sit around like, I'm good, I'm fine, I got this. Nothing's worse than a person that's trapped. You ever seen them, kids? Don't put your head between this. They stuck. You get them out. 2 weeks later, right back on it. It's like that sheep. That sheep was stuck in the little pit or whatever. The ditch. Thank you. The owner pulls him out, and 3 seconds later, almost like he wanted to, goes doop, 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 and goes. And gets stuck right over again. I said this the other week. I want to ask you guys this question. We love to talk about how he left the 99 to go after the 1. But I do have an issue when he leaves the 99 to keep going after the same 1. Because we know he'll deliver you every time. But my question is, how many times are you going to make him deliver you from the same thing? I know I'm not the preacher for today, but just go with me, all right? How many times do we find ourselves being lost in situations? God delivers us from those people. He literally makes it so we cannot have any more contact with those people. But some way, somehow, I'm riding by Kickback Jacks, and the same person you were disconnected from, why y'all sitting outside talking? Could it be we like hurt? Could it be that no, we're not slitting our wrists. No, we're not causing pain to ourselves. But could it be we put people around us that we know will cause pain to us, but for some reason, I just got to reach out one more time. Don't get offended, get delivered. Because if you know at the moment that y'all connect, this ain't good. If you know at the moment that, oh no, this ain't gonna work out. But they say one thing to pull you in and entice you. And now you find yourself in a situation that it takes 15 minutes to get in and takes you 15 years to get out of it. Tell somebody, be aware. No. Say it again. Say, be aware. 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 Be aware Because here you are at a place in your life where you're becoming confident in who God made you to be. You're making steps closer to who God made you to be. And why, Pastor, why does it seem like now all of a sudden people I disconnected from are now calling me? Because you're getting closer. Why do I find myself in a place where I want to go back to my old sins? Because you're getting closer. And the enemy knows that the closer you get to your deliverance, he got one more attempt to pull you back in. And what he doesn't realize is some of us get to the point of no return. Pastor, what are you talking about? You know when you're driving and you coming up to a red light and all the dashes are just broken up, right? But then you get to a point where the lines all connect. It's one line. Now, this right here is called the point of no return. In other words, when I get to this part, I can't switch lanes. Because if I switch lanes, right, it's a very sensitive part of my drive. And if I jump lanes in this point of my drive, I'm going to cause an accident. Oh! And some of y'all got to stop getting to the point of return thinking you want to take a risk and jump over into someone else's lane. The devil knows when you're getting to the point where if I let go right here, I'm going to lose everything. And he sits and he waits till you get to the point where if he tries one more time, it's a matter of life and death. I do remember God saying, I lay before you life and death, but it's almost like a cheat code, Mia, because he says, I lay before you life and death, but choose life. And here we go, this stubborn generation that keep toiling between life and death, knowing God already told me what to choose. I'm going on sabbatical, y'all. You ain't got to do me for a whole entire month, all right? Just let me get this out while I'm out, okay? Why do we keep playing between things and we know what the ultimate end is going to be? You know the results of this action. And did you want to say something, Dad? I thought you wanted to take over. I was like, hey, you got it. You know the results of this and the results of that. You know this is going to be death and this is going to be life. And you keep saying, let's just see what happens. I'm coming down somebody's street, right? I'm reading somebody's mail right now. I'm in the middle of your text message right now. Because what happens is we have this thing we need and we have called adrenaline. Okay, this is why people are jumping off of skyscrapers. Not because they want to, but just to experience the adrenaline rush. Let me help y'all real quick. If you're in a situation in your life and you need an adrenaline rush, just drink some coffee. I just delivered somebody right there. Get you a Celsius, get you a C4, get you something else. Stop living life in a way where you're always putting yourself in danger and you don't have to. I need some claps for that one right there. Because did you not learn from the last situation that your flesh will always get you in trouble? But for the sake of immediate gratification and for the sake of the quick fix, not realizing it's a quick fix, but let me tell you something. The side effects of it, oh my God, it's not quick. But I don't blame you. We do live in a culture where we would take a medicine for arm pain and the side effects is longer than the benefits. But we say, you know what? I'll try it anyway. But they tell you, if you experience these things, call your doctor. I know you got a headache, but it could cause paralysis. It could cause you to lose 2 toes on the right foot and 3 toes on the left foot. But hey, if it happens, just call your doctor. Because we like to live life on the edge. Let me get back to my message. And because of that, we're still trying to figure out who we are. You don't drink. But that loneliness, though, it'll make you to drink. You don't party. But that loneliness, though, when that kicks in, you go to any party just trying to figure out how to get some type of relief. You don't fornicate. You don't be sleeping around. But sometimes your insecurity will get in your way, get in your head, and all of a sudden you now sleep with people you never thought you'd sleep with. People you say no to, now all of a sudden you start saying yes to. Watching things you never thought you'd be watching. To fix something on the inside. But we have to get back to the place where we come into contact, revelation, conviction about who we originally are created to be. Because if you become more concerned with your original state and not the state you're in now that life has almost altered, you'll start making better decisions. Someone asked the question yesterday during our live. They said, how do I stop, how do I stop compromising? I said, compromising only boils down to one thing, and that's sobriety. You become so intoxicated on your image, it has caused you to compromise. So intoxicated on validation and needing somebody to pat you on the back that you'll do anything for a heart and a like and a comment. Are you hearing me? You start wearing things to gain the wrong type of attention and thinking it's good attention. You start entertaining people that you would not entertain. Why? Because you become so inebriated off of the need of affection and companionship that it don't matter who it is, I just need somebody to rub my back. And because of that, we find ourselves in compromising situations. We have the saints of the old who wore long skirts, Reebok socks, white New Balances, head coverings every single day. I love it. Head coverings every single day. And a family reunion t-shirt. That was Youth Sunday to them. Those are the saints that you can just walk up to anyone and just look at the outfit, walk up to them and say, "Can I get a mint?" And they say, "Yeah, child, what kind you want? You want the trident kind? You want the red and white kind? What kind you want?" Those saints are still around. We don't see them much often. And even though I thank God for those saints, I do thank God for the level of sobriety that they lived in. I know I'm just talking y'all today. It's Youth Sunday, so we good. Just sit down for a little bit longer. I'll let y'all go in a minute. There was a level of submission and sobriety that they lived in that involved what they wore. Some of y'all come to church, you look like you're trying to get married. Oh, I said it. You look like you got dressed in. This just might be the day. This is the day. He gonna find me today. He gonna find me today. And your mind's not on Jesus, so you got the man, but you did not get the relationship. I promise you, I got a whole month. Y'all now have to hear from me, so you better get it while you can right now. No, seriously. And because of that, we have more lust problems in church than any other generation. Now, is lust a thing of, oh man, if you're a man, you should be able to, contain yourself, have some self-control. Yeah, we got self-control in eyes. Women too. Oh, we got self-control. You got eyes too. That's why you got to make sure. I'm not trying to take us back to the 80s and 90s. But I do want us to be in 2024 and then 2025 will come later, not having to deal with a bunch of people that we got to have private meetings. Now, why you wear that? Now you know what attention you're trying to get when you put that outfit on, honey. You should have changed your clothes. We got way too much stuff to build in this ministry to have those conversations. Are you hearing me? Second looks means change. A snap of the neck means change. If you walk out the house and go, just don't even have the conversation. You're already halfway late because what you're trying to put on. Just go change real quick and just apologize later. Because we now have to deal with a generation that sits in church, and even though the worship real good, they looking. They're like, And the thing about it is, the journey of marriage should not start when they first see you. He should not be able to tell what he's getting into just by looking at you like, okay, all right. Y'all okay? The kids is gone, right? Okay. She should not be able to judge what she's going to experience with your clothes on. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I want this church to live a holy, sanctified life. You understand me? You're welcome. So therefore, we got to ask ourselves, what is the motive behind my attire? What is the motive behind my conversations? What is the motive behind me lifting my hands a certain way? What's the motive behind my dance? Y'all okay? You good, Marquise? You good? What are the motives? Because if your motives are wrong, you can always change them. That's the part. That's the part that hit real strong. Like, no, this is who I am. No, it's not. It's not. It's who you are right now. It's not who you always were. Let's get back to the scripture. Because Adam loses himself. Let's be sober. Adam loses himself. Adam is the one who walked with God every day. Adam is the one that God gave the ability and the assignment and the power to name everything that was put in. Can you imagine God walking up to you and saying, Brittany, everything that comes across your face, you name it, and whatever you say is going to be called is what I'm going to call it. God is subjected to your naming. Okay, that pulls us into, Mason, that pulls into the daytime. Where we got to realize if he tells us to call those things that be not as though they were, that means whatever you label and put your name on it, God says, I'll back it up. But okay, don't worry about that. That's another message. Hey, Adam is the one that God has the conversation with first. To say, you see that tree over there? I know you like it, right? Don't touch it. Listen, y'all. Eve was not there for the original conversation. And this is why the serpent came after her. Because it's one thing for God to talk to you. It's another thing for God to get a word to you from somebody else. Because if Adam has a conversation with God, he's firsthand experience, right? He heard it himself. Eve had to get it almost in a sense in concept. Because he tells Adam, Eve is a part of Adam, not yet being discovered, not yet being created. She's a part of Adam. When she comes out, why does the serpent have a conversation with Eve who was not there to have the original conversation with God? Because society wants to do this. Discredit the voice of reasoning in your life. Pastor Bruce, what are you talking about, man? Because I know your pastor say, live a sober life. Your pastor says that grace is not there so that you can sin. It's there to cover you if you do sin. But you will leave here, and the serpent, Facebook will come up. And the serpent, YouTube will come up and tell you that grace is there, so just go ahead and sin. God forgave you. Oh, I'm free to sin. Absolutely not. But the serpent is now having a secondhand conversation. Y'all hear me? You got to be so convinced of the first time that God speaks something that the devil can't come in and shake your opinion about it. Why has the church been alive for thousands of years and we still having conversations about what's a sin and what's not a sin? Why is the church thousands of years old and we still having conversations about what the fivefold ministry is? What did God say, and live off of that? But he throws you off. Why? Because you didn't write it, you just read it. Y'all didn't come for this today. So he says, did God say if you ate from that tree, you was going to surely die? And he was like, well, he said you can't eat from the tree, then we're going to die. Did he say he's going to surely die, though? There you go, that teeter-tottering. Because ain't nothing like trying to figure out whether the sin you like to commit is really wrong or not. And some of y'all real good. Y'all real smart. You think you smart. Well, I mean, is it an abomination or is it like... Because, I mean, I can do everything else as long as I don't do like the pride thing and like the abominations. Like, if I do that, I'm really going to hell. But no, all sin is sin. It ain't levels to it. All sin is sin. Y'all hear me? So eat from that tree, you're going to die. Well, I mean, you're going to surely die? Listen, he said I'm going to die. I'm just not going to try it out. But he says this. He says, the funny thing is, God told you that because he know that if you eat from that tree, you're going to become like him. And don't want to be like Jesus. Want to talk like Jesus, walk like Jesus, eat like Jesus, heal like Jesus. But there are some things that should have been left to our innocence. There are some things that we should have stayed in the dark about. Because once you got exposed to it, you're now responsible for your revelation. Here they are, listen to this, y'all. Here they are living a life where all they got to do is check in with God every time in the cool of the day. That's all they got to do. And whatever God says, do it. He'll provide everything they need for them. That's all you got to do. Why are we now in a position where we're giving all of that up and now we're responsible for ourselves? Self-will is one of the worst things ever given to man. Because that means I have a choice in whether I want to obey or not. And most of the time, I don't want to obey because if I obey, I got to take the long way. But if I don't obey, I get there real quick. So he says, hey. Eat of it, you become like God, knowing the difference between good and evil. So what do? They ate a tree. Immediately, their eyes were open. Their understanding was open. Their knowledge was open to a place they should not have gone to. And now what has happened? The first thing they discover is this. I'm almost done, y'all. The first thing they discover is that they're naked. Now they are embarrassed. And now they're without a covering. Keep being rebellious in your life, and God will remove the covering off of your life. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like this. Keep walking around as if you know what you're doing. And you need nobody to correct you. Nobody to tell you wrong. Keep walking in rebellion and watch the covering come off of you. Because what happens is, the scripture says, because they did not honor God in their heart, he turned them over to a reprobate mind. What is a reprobate mind? It's a mind that does not consider consequences. It's an unsubmitted mind. That means things that I could have covered you from had you listened, I'm now no longer responsible for. Why? Because I done told you about 10 times, cut them off. I told you 10 times, stop doing this, stop doing that. And you say, nah, I'm good, I'm going to do exactly what I do. And when situations happen and the storm comes, there's nothing to protect you from the elements. It can rain right now in this building and nobody gets sprinkled on. Leave out this building and start raining, you're getting covered. Why? Because you left from under the covering. So for those of y'all who walk in almost like an ultimate rebellion and think you need a leader in your life, tell somebody you do need a leader. You do need a covering. Tell somebody, I thank God for my covering. Because there were some situations I just knew I was going to have to pay the consequences for, but my leader got between the people and God had to spread mercy all around my life. Tell them, I thank God for my leader. You know there were some situations you got involved in. And you still don't know how it didn't end up on Facebook. Tell somebody, because I had a covering. You still trying to figure out how you can get that disease. Tell somebody, I had a covering. I had a covering. You didn't get exposed. Why? Because I had a covering. So, okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. They realized they were naked. So now what is, hey, sorry. Tell them I thank God for my leader. You can be your own apostle if you want to. I got a bishop. I know who to call when I start finding my flesh rising up and I want to get a drink. I know exactly who to call because he's going to cover me. He's going to cover and correct. He's not just covering it up. He's actually correcting me behind the scenes. It ain't in your business what we talking about. Because your covering will stop the people from talking about you. They'll take you behind closed doors and you know that was wrong. Tells me I thank God for my covering. So now this stuff has happened, and Lucifer is really acting up, and because of this, he has thrown the whole creation into chaos. Time me, 5 minutes. Time me, 5 minutes. I'm going too long. The earth is now thrown into chaos. Okay, let me get this real 30-second snippet. Okay, there's about 1,000 or so years between Genesis 1 and Genesis 1 verse 1 and Genesis 1 verse 2. So I know some people read it and say, in the beginning God created the heavens and earth. Now the earth was out void. And no. You have to understand. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. There's a period, which means it was done. Okay? Then, when you get to verse 2, it says, now the earth was void, right? And desolate and all that stuff, right? There's a process that took place for it to get there. Genesis 2, 1 verse 2 is not a continuation of verse 1. It's almost in a sense like a restart from verse 1. And there's a whole bunch of scriptures you can go through in Bible study to talk about the time of the Luciferian fall. How when God created heavens and earth, now we have to deal with Lucifer saying, I'll ascend to heaven and be like the Most High. And then God has to strike him back down to the earth. This is why Jesus says, I beheld Satan hit earth as of lightning. So it's not a Big Bang Theory, y'all. I'm sorry to mess with anybody. There's no such thing as a Big Bang Theory. That Big Bang was Lucifer. It's too much Bible to be believing that stuff. I'm just saying, it's too much Bible. He hits the earth as a lightning and sends the whole earth into chaos. So everything God created in verse 1 is now just suspended. Listen to what I said. It's not destroyed, it's just suspended. All right? Verse 2 now says, now the earth is without void, darkness is on the face of the earth, all that stuff, right? So now we get to verse 3. Because the end of verse 2 would tell us that the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the water. Revelation number 1. I don't care where your life is right now. I don't care how chaotic your life seems right now. If you have enough strength to believe, I want you to know this, that no matter how dark it is, no matter how dreary it is, God still has a chance to hover over your situation. And what happens is this is where it gets exciting. I love this part. It gives the analogy when talking about how the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the deep. It gives us this motion. And really what it's talking about is that there's a mother eagle that is now stirring her nest, preparing for new birth. I thought y'all would get that. It's a mother eagle standing over her nest, and she's moving the old sticks out the way. Moving the old bristles out the way. Cleaning up the nest. Why? Because she's about to birth something new. So when Genesis 1 verse 2 says that the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the deep, that means even though he understood that everything got messed up and now everything is in chaos, he says, I still got to prepare to do something new. I don't know. I don't think y'all ready. I don't think I got this yet. I'm going to keep doing it until y'all get it. Because you're looking at your life right now, and it seems like things have died off. And people that walked away, and you feel alone, and you're wondering, will there ever be any sense of restoration take place in my, can things ever get better? I want you to high five somebody and say, God is hovering over you right now. In other words, things are about to shift. And things are about to change. Because he's about to birth something new. I know they walked out, but he's about to birth something new. I'm sorry. I know they about to kick you out, but he's birthing something new. You ought to be prophetic and make good folks say he's doing something new. He's doing something new. And while he's working. I'm preparing myself. Because something new is coming. Something fresh is coming. Woo! Something alive is coming. I'm about to birth something new that's never been seen before. I don't care about the bad news. I don't care. Tell me he's doing something new. He's doing something new. Okay. So tell your neighbor, say neighbor, say he's making something new. Say, but it's not new. Okay, I won't get ahead of myself. Tell somebody he's making something new, but it's not really new. Somebody shout let. All right. Okay, put Genesis 1, verse 3 back on the screen real quick, and we get out of here. I'm gonna holler a little bit, and we can get out of here. Y'all ready? Okay, so it says, then God said, what? Stop. Then God said, what? Stop. Then God said, what? Stop. If you look up the original etymology of the word let, it gives the analogy that something that was there but is no longer there is being put back in its place. Okay. No, y'all ready to go. So in other words, when he says, let there be light, and the scripture says, and there was light, in other words, he didn't have to create a new light. He took the light that got lost in chaos and put it back where it belonged. How about one person say, neighbor, say he's not creating a new you, but he's taking the new you that was lost in chaos and putting you back where you belong. Tell somebody, I'm coming back, hey, to my original state.
Connect with Pastor Bruce Johnson Jr. at www.brucejohnsonjr.com or on Instagram at BruceJohnsonJR. Join us next week for another message of hope from Pastor Bruce Johnson Jr.